Pulschat.
How is it going, guys? Welcome to the E3 2018 Pulschat. I am joined by Will from Little Will the Deity and Nintendo Direct, and obviously his name would be Nick.
What's good? What's good, everybody?
Yeah, but either way, we are actually going to talk about E3 as a whole today, our general impressions of everything that's happened throughout the week. Obviously, everything that happened earlier today with Smash and Pokemon and whatever else everybody saw, but regardless, this is a all three E3 related pulse chat here. But yeah, let's kind of get started. We're starting off with the third-party conferences. So I guess starting off, just a quick note on EA. I know we spoke about this before. You guys, how did you feel about EA? Just in general.
Seems like every year they're just mind-numbingly bad.
Mind-numbing.
Is just, how much we know what they're gonna show us every year, right? They're gonna show us the FIFAs and the Maddens because they have to, and they're gonna show us what they didn't show us. They didn't barely show us NBA Live, but they're gonna show us the annual releases, and then every once in a while we'll have a new game here and there, like Anthem. But really, what I think everybody's bashing for is the 5 minutes on that mobile game that they showed, which was just awful.
I know, right? When the fact that they, I'm so tired of mobile, and the fact that you use E3, something that's for legitimate gamers, not just casual gamers, legit gamers watch E3. Other people are just out doing whatever they already do, go to Panera or swim or do drugs or whatever else they do on their spare time. So it's showing a phone game, really?
Yeah, you could tell that this E3 was more so not about informing the fans, but informing investors and people that are going to give them money, because we already know that EA is all about the money. And it was blatant how it was. We have Madden coming out, we have this, oh, check out this mobile game, we're getting into the mobile market, that'll be huge. It was not what I wanted anyway. They saved Anthem to the end, and thank God. That's kind of what saved it. But either way, you had to wait through a whole hour and 10 minutes of that before you got to there. It was not good.
Yeah. Well, so you just thought it was complete trash. Or you guys, were there any highlights at all for you? At all for EA?
It just hurts to think that not E3. It just hurts to think that EA still exists.
You're right. But there were the highlight was Anthem and of course Battlefield 5, but we already saw a little bit of Battlefield 5, and I don't think anybody was really looking forward to that. All they did was say, oh, we have Royale coming out. They announced that, but then they didn't even show it. They just said they have it. So that was okay, cool, you're not going to show it to us. And then they walked off. And then, like I said, all I was waiting for was Anthem. Really, that's all I was waiting for. I'm a big fan of BioWare, so that was my big thing I was waiting for. And even then, bringing Casey Hudson on stage and him talking about it and talking about the 3 classes, even then it was very lackluster. It wasn't anything mind-blowing.
See, I didn't like EA's at all, although I did like the Star Wars information we got, and the fact that Unravel dropped the same day, because Unravel, I was a really big fan of the first one.
Yes, those two were. But...
And I love Battlefront. I love Battlefront to death. It's actually, for someone that literally only played it 4 times since launch, I think it's really fun. And then the fact that they're adding Clone Wars, which was arguably the best time in Star Wars history, in my opinion, next to the Old Republic. And right next to Old Republic. And even with that being said, it sucked that they just had them talk to some guy in the audience. They kind of just had him talk to some guy in the audience, which I found really irritating, although he was at least able to shed some light on the future Star Wars project.
Oh yeah, it was the guy from Respawn, right? It was the guy from Respawn talking about Jedi, was it the Last Order or the Final Order or whatever? I can't remember
I forget what they called it. But I've always wanted Star Wars content that happens during or after Order 66, and we've never gotten that. And this is supposed to happen 10 minutes after or so.
Right, and we're finally getting some. My thing is though, it's Respawn, and I'm not sure how confident I am in Respawn with that.
Well, Titanfall 2 was good.
Right. Well, Titanfall 2 is good, but now they're doing something different, and that's the only thing that concerns me. I think they can pull it off. I mean, developers are developers, and they can develop games, and they have all these ideas. I don't want to say that they can only do first-person shooters, but they have only done first-person shooters historically through the history of Respawn and the developers that they have there. So that's my only concern with that one. I did like though. A lot. There was an indie game that they showed, well, not indie game, but they showed that game Sea of Solitude, and that game actually I did like, and that did interest me. But everybody else seemed to be like, nah, that's kind of whack. But that game really did interest me. That and Unravel, those two type of games, like the whole psychological type games, those draw me for some reason, and I really do like those. So those were the two games on top of that with Anthem I did like. But the conference was, just whatever.
So let's move over to Ubisoft. Well, what were your thoughts on Ubisoft?
It was all right. I mean, everything was expected. Like 3/4 of it, I just didn't care about. Beyond Good and Evil 2 looked all right. Assassin's Creed Odyssey looked really good, actually. The Mario Rabbids DLC, I kind of don't care about, but overall, I thought it was all right.
Mm.
I don't even remember the rest, but
Yeah, I actually don't 100% remember everything myself, to be really honest. The pull-aways I got from that were Division is better, or at least Division was the way it was supposed to be.
Yes.
Shoot, what else was there?
The Division is better. They're adding race to the Division. They showed Assassin's Creed Odyssey at the end.
Which confused me with Assassin's Creed, because with the time period they're in,
yes,
I'm all about being able to play with female characters, but the fact that they put a female role in Spartan territory, I found that to be weird. Because, that's just not historically accurate in any form. Like, they could have done that with the last Assassin's Creed game, and it would have made more sense. But, having a female Spartan just sounds weird. I don't know. Not that it matters to me. I won't be using her, but it is still weird historically.
I mean, they kicked it out with Beyond Good and Evil 2, and that was a good way to start it off. But then slowly after that, it was more talking, and then they brought out Joseph Gordon-Levitt for whatever he was doing. They brought out Elijah Wood for their VR experience, and I was like, okay, whatever. They just danced. Bleh.
Yeah, I know that part was cringe.
Mario Rabbids Kingdom Battle with the Donkey Kong. I actually liked that because I actually did like that game, but they didn't really show anything. They just played music and sort of transitioned into the Division 2, which the details that they showed in that game were awesome. And so, I agree, they improved on the Division, and then of course, Assassin's Creed Odyssey. I'm trying to remember because there was something that they did show that I can't exactly remember. I'd actually have to look it up. Hold on a second. I don't exactly remember. It was just it was just too much. There's been too many games this whole E3 that it was crazy. But you go ahead.
No, there's not really much to touch base on. There was the Star Fox thing, but I'm gonna save that for Nintendo section.
They did show us Trials. I remember being mad about that.
You were mad about that?
Yeah, I
Why?
did. It's Trials. It was just I'm not a big fan of the Trials series,
Oh,
and they spent way too much time on it. Is what I'm saying. They spent a whole bunch of time talking about Trials, and I'm like, okay, we get it. It's Trials. The game that they did show, Skull and Bones, that pirate game, Skull and Bones, that they showed, pretty much looked like Assassin's Creed Black Flag on steroids. Like, they took every sailing mechanic from Black Flag and put it in a game
because it works.
Exactly.
If it had
because it works, not because it's something people ask for.
Well, people asked for it when it was done in 3, Assassin's Creed 3, people asked for it, and so they put it in 4. So,
and then people didn't like it in 4, which was mind blowing to me. They were like, "Oh, we love the ship sequences," and then they put, "Oh, there's too much sailing now." And so that was
I remember hearing that. Yeah,
I remember killing me. That's what killed me about that one. But I did like the Starlink and the whole Star Fox crossover. That did blow my mind. And of course, they showed us For Honor and Siege and more characters and more seasons and how they're gonna go about doing that.
It's really interesting because I said something to Andy about this the other day. I think they're always like, okay, let's trap Miyamoto in our little stage thing, and we'll always have a good E3. Because every time they bring him out, they say Ubisoft had a good E3. So it's really fun.
Yeah.
Okay, when you see Miyamoto, just grab him and make him watch our show.
Well, I find really funny is the fact that he had no idea what they were even doing with Star Fox. He didn't even know they used Star Fox. I find that funny because that normally creates a problem. When you go, hey, look at this thing we're doing, you know, this is great, and you had no idea. It's like, oh, this is your favorite pair of shoes, Dad. I drew my face on it and wrote your name on the side. How do you feel? It's like, oh yeah, thanks for, you know, fucking up my shoes. No, it's basically what that situation was, but obviously he was pleased, but still. I guess let's move on to the one that Will liked the most, the Square Enix. What were you guys' thoughts on Square Enix?
You like Square Enix?
I didn't like it the most. Oh, well, no, I did not like Square Enix the most.
Oh, excuse me.
It was one of the best, but I didn't like it by any means. I didn't really like anyone's by any means. But you know, Square Enix, they showed. I mean, I think they showed good game after good game. Kingdom Hearts is always good.
Yeah, Kingdom Hearts was my highlight.
Yeah, it was heartbreaking. Dear Lord, that trailer was heartbreaking.
Why?
But yeah.
Because you got to see everything you've been waiting for, and you're just getting choked up while you're watching it.
No, it's like Aqua, like that twist. It was just that was crazy.
That the Square Enix showcase. I'm not even gonna call it a press conference because it wasn't even a press conference. It was just a showcase. But the showcase for Square Enix, I thought was it. I felt like they could have done better if they had not shown half their cards during the Xbox press briefing.
Yeah.
Because we got a lot of trailers from there, and half the time they didn't even expand on anything.
Yeah.
Anything. They just show what they had, and that was it. Move on forward, move on with it. And like even with Octopath, I thought they were going to be like, okay, Octopath, here it is. We're going to go more in depth.
We don't need them to though, because like there's demos. It comes out in like a month.
Fair enough. The only thing that was different was they showed Kingdom Hearts, and then they got to show a different extended trailer. And then even then, they still showed that at Sony, and we'll get to that.
They showed a better trailer at Sony, in my opinion. No, then again, no. The one that they showed with theirs that had the whole Aqua thing was pretty powerful. They showed a more action-based one, I guess, with Sony. But my overall thing with Square Enix, I didn't really care about it, and they didn't even show Avengers, so I'm still muffed about that one. But
if I had to criticize them on one thing, I would say that that game's probably not coming out till like 2050, so it's not even.
Which game? The Avengers one?
Yeah.
Oh well, yeah. Because it's Square Enix. They're gonna take their sweet ass time. I guess moving to my absolute favorite conference out of all of them, Nintendo doesn't count because they had their own thing. Was boy, I'm giving them the wrong name. Every time I think of them, Double Fine comes to my head.
Digital Revolver.
Digital Revolver. Boy,
I did not watch this one. I haven't even had a chance to watch it yet.
Best in E3.
I cannot give my opinion on that one yet.
Dude, Digital. Okay, you don't watch them for games. You just watch them for a good laugh. Because like all they do is just make fun of the gaming industry, and then every now and then put out an okay game. So like I watched them for a good laugh, not for a good game. Although I did like the second game they showed off that's coming out on Switch pretty soon here, so I will be grabbing that. But it basically looks like side-scroller Matrix game. But yeah, I liked Devolver Digitals. It was okay, especially since it was like basically, you know, based around humor. They think they can have like a storyline through all E3s. It even said to be continued at the end. Like, yeah, Will, what did you think of Devolvers?
Oh, I mean, I don't know. Like, I fell asleep and I woke up and I was like, I guess E3 is still going on. Then I open it up and the woman is like, oh yeah, you know, we're gonna show you guys this GIF. And this one guy's like, no, it's GIF. And she's like, what? And then she grabs a flamethrower and like sets him on fire. And like, I'm like, what? I was like, what is going on? Like, I had no idea what was going on, but it was funny though. So, yeah.
So apparently they had a bit where they made fun of loot boxes.
Yep. Oh, they made fun of. They dissed and made fun of everybody. The audience, the loot boxes, the companies, everything. She even ended most of her sentence with, we're going to be getting a shit ton of money from you anyway. And it's just my job to get money. Like, she ended it with that multiple times. It was great.
Dude, that's awesome.
Like, I don't know. I enjoyed their thing as far as, like, you know, that. I guess what? There's one more third party that needs to be talked about, right?
Bethesda.
Bethesda did very, very well.
Very well. Very well.
But Bethesda did very, very well. They sold me on... It was funny, because when that guy, that I can't remember the name of right now, got on stage, that's when Bethesda became really, really good. Because at first it was really lackluster. The audience in E3 this year just really, really sucked. Like, they might as well have just pre-recorded it all, because the audience made it worse than it needed to be.
Yes.
But when that guy got out there, the actual, like, Todd Howard, thank you. For some reason, I lose his name all the time, because I literally think of him... I don't even want to say it. I'm just not going to say it. I'm going to say it. To me, when I see Todd Howard, I'm like, yeah, that cool Jewish guy that's probably not Jewish, but he's funny enough. So, like, every time he comes out, and anytime I see Todd Howard, I get interested, but I never know his name. I always forget. But when he came out, that's when things got really, really interesting. And he is such a riot. That guy is fun. Like, he's literally someone I would love to, like, go, like, drink coffee with or
hang out and have a beer.
Yeah, that dude is...
like... And watch him roast people, because he was really good at being a sarcastic, roasting kind of personality, especially when he was talking about the Elder Scrolls Blades game, and they were asking why would you want to play it in camera mode or whatever, and he was like, because you want to drink your coffee, dummy. Like,
it's like, why would you want to use one hand? Because you can drink your coffee while you play. Like, he had a quick comeback. It was beautiful.
Right.
So. But yeah, Fallout. I, hilariously enough, don't like Fallout ever. And when I do get Fallout games, it's on PC so that I can mod it to play as Tony Stark or do a Star Wars mod or something. Because to me that makes the game better. That's just my personal opinion. I'm sorry if you hate that. Although this new game has me incredibly interested, and I will be buying that day one. I might even get the helmet with that, you know, the collector's edition, so that I can unbox it for you guys. But yeah, that looks fun, and I'm forcing Will to get it, and we're all gonna play together. But Will,
but Bethesda, I felt like
money in my wallet.
I feel like Bethesda was the second best conference in E3. I mean, they came out, and yes, they showed us Rage 2, and I know you weren't interested in Rage 2, but they showed us that, and Andrew WK came out, and that was funny, and the crowd wasn't having none of that. And then they went ahead and announced all their games. I mean, and they kept the focus on games, and it was kind of cringy while all the other people came out and talked. Like, I was like, come on, let's get them off stage. But then when Todd Howard came out and talked about Fallout, and then talked about the mobile game, and then talked about the future to reveal Starfield and Elder Scrolls 6, like, that kind of did it for me. And that really sucked me in, because for a minute I was out for a little bit, and then when he came on stage and sort of saved it, it was good. And I think it was the second best conference of E3.
Okay, yeah, I can agree with that.
Second or third.
I can't remember everybody else's right now for some reason, but I could definitely agree with that. Question though, so let's quickly touch base on specific games so that we're not on them for a long period of time. Doom, from what we saw from just the trailer, because there was no real gameplay, although we have an idea of what it's going to play like.
It's going to be Doom.
Yeah, it's going to be Doom. It's going to be good. It's going to be awesome. So that one looked fun.
Rage 2, which you're not a fan of.
Yeah, Rage I'm not really interested in, to be very honest, but it didn't look like a bad game at all. But I have no interest. No one cared about the first Rage, so I don't know why they thought people would care about another one. But hey, it's here, so, you know, we'll see how well it does. It's Bethesda, so
they showed the Prey DLC.
Yes, and I hated that Prey game, so my opinion on that one does not matter in this. I liked the original Prey that came out on 360. Like, that one made more sense with the story and just felt like a better game, because you were Native Americans and there were lots of superstitious things, and it was like genuine horror. And then this new one's just like not even the same. They might as well just made it a brand new game. They just decided to use an old name to sell it, like, basically, because it was not the same. And also Jump Stars, or Jump, whatever they're calling it this time, because they keep changing its name. Jump Force. I think that looks fun. 1-on-1, you could switch to different characters, team-based. They basically use, because a lot of people are like, oh yeah, it looks like Naruto. It's like, well, you clearly didn't play the other ones in the series. Looks can be deceiving. It does not play the same. It doesn't even feel the same. Matter of fact, J-Star's video games are typically really, really clunky. So it looks like this time it's more of a mixture of the Xenoverse style gameplay, but boots on the ground ish. I don't know. It looks a little bit better than what they've been doing with J-Stars in the past. So I'm assuming this one's going to be really, really good, especially from what I saw. I really like it. And what the last two, Devil May Cry had me confused at first. So I saw it and I thought it was younger Dante with the white hair from the end of the game.
They ended up just reskinning younger Dante, giving him white hair and calling him Nero.
Yeah, and then I thought it was Dante. I was like, that looks weird. I'm like, people are going to be upset that it's young Dante again. People are going to be upset that it doesn't look like Dante.
Actually, in the stream, I was like, I'm so glad that they used young Dante because I liked young Dante.
Yeah, I did too.
I'm so glad they went back with that. That's right. It's a good middle finger to all the whinies. And then all of a sudden they're like, oh, but it's Nero and here's real Dante. And I was like, oh, man.
Yeah, when I saw his arm, I'm like, they're going to be upset that they cut Dante's arm off. At the end of the trailer, they saw Dante. Who the hell is that?
And then they're like, oh, that's Nero. I was like, well, isn't. It's like, whatever. But I know what got my buddy hype, Christopher, he's in the chat, what got him hype was that Resident Evil 2 remake.
Yeah, and Resident Evil 2
that got him hype.
Beautiful. We need some gameplay. They said it was over the shoulder and horror. Like we're talking Resident Evil 7 style horror, but Resident Evil, I guess, 4, 5, and 6 over the shoulder is how that's supposed to be. So that's going to be awesome. Now, out of everything that was just like spitballed right there, Will, is there anything you want to say about any of those games?
I like the idea of like Jump Force because it's basically you're throwing these anime characters in our really realistic world. So it's like it's a really cool concept basically, and can't wait for it. But no, not really. I mean, I'm glad these games exist for the most part. So yeah.
I'm glad that Devil May Cry was a thing. I was really concerned that genre was, well, I mean, it is kind of dying out, but a lot of people aren't fans of beat 'em up games like that anymore. And to see that come back, and a lot of people were excited about it whenever they revealed it at the conference, like that's really good because like I said, I know a lot of people are like, we don't need beat 'em ups anymore. It's a dying breed. It's a dying genre. And then all of a sudden, here comes Devil May Cry 5, and everybody's like, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe Devil May Cry 5." So somebody was lying somewhere, you know, about that.
Now let's for starters, I hope they put Midoriya and All Might on the Jump Fighters. That'd be really cool because they are Shonen Jump. My friend decided to put out.
Well, if they're gonna do newer shonen, that means they also have to put in Black Clover because apparently Black Clover is a top 3 shonen right now
in Japan. Yeah, for some reason.
That's actually insane.
Yeah, I don't understand the Black Clover thing.
Would have to be in there, so get ready for him. Get ready for all that.
Oh, dude, that's gonna be bad. Now let's talk about some honorable mentions really quick before we move to Microsoft that weren't at E3, and there's only really 2 that I can think of at the moment, and that's the My Hero Academia video game. That didn't show up at E3. Not that I expected it to, but it would have been cool to see it there. It would have been cool to see the Team Sonic Racing, and it would have been cool to see... There's one more game. It's not coming to mind, so I guess it didn't matter. But... it would have been cool to see. Are there any honorable mentions you want to talk about, Will, that could have been there?
I like Shadow of the Tomb Raider. Like, that looked badass to me.
Yeah. My Hero Academia is coming to the Switch, Sandoval asked. Yeah, it's coming to Switch. That's one of the only of those Bandai Namco games that are coming to Switch. Speaking of Bandai Namco, did they even showcase Soul Calibur any?
Nope, not at all. That's another one, yeah. Oh, and Dead or Alive. Both of those did not.
There you
go.
They
didn't show them both. And I love Dead or Alive. I'm a huge Dead or Alive fan.
And Soul Calibur is supposed to be coming out this year. You would figure that they would showcase that somewhere, even on Sony's, press conference. You figured that would have gotten showcased somewhere, but I guess maybe not. I don't know.
Alrighty. Well, before we move on, really quick to Microsoft, everybody watching right now, I'd like to thank everybody that is here. I don't 100% know who is here currently, but yeah, Lapras Gamer. Question for, sorry if I read that wrong. Mohit, Candyman, Creative Cast. It's Christopher.
Rush Fifth, that's a dude of mine.
Okay, and then we got Zelda here.
Lieutenant Surge was here.
We got Lieutenant Surge, Edward Norton, Rush. That might actually be everyone. No, we got Residemon. Sorry if I read that wrong. I don't have my glasses on.
Risen Demon. Risen Demon.
I don't have my glasses on. I apologize. I believe that's everyone. Princess is here. Master Smash, Robotech, Pablo. How are all of you guys doing? Dead Zone King as usual. But either way, thank all of you guys for joining. Pretty soon here, after we do Microsoft, I'm going to put out a little questionnaire for Microsoft, Sony, and Nintendo. Give you guys a chance to win a gift card. So let's go over to Microsoft next. So with Microsoft, they didn't have a whole lot to show as far as just themselves. Before we jump into that, though, starting with Will, what were your thoughts on Microsoft? Did you see that one?
I mean, I thought it was. I thought it was one of their better E3 showcases.
Mm-hmm.
Well, unless you're talking about their own studio games.
Oh, there we go.
Well, as far as like the showcase, yeah, their showcase was literally probably the best one that they've had in recent years. Definitely. I definitely enjoyed watching theirs. It was a shopping list for PC and PlayStation, though, but it was still good regardless. But I know Nick looks really antsy.
I don't really look antsy.
So what about the Xbox one? What was your absolute favorite thing that you saw?
My absolute favorite thing that I saw from Xbox?
Yeah.
I mean, it's gonna be bad saying this, but the games that weren't their first party games, but and that's just because I mean they showed us Halo Infinite. Okay.
Yeah, we didn't
Gears
get
5
anything on that.
Okay.
Well,
But
I was excited for Gears.
Here's the deal. I'll say this again. This press conference wasn't about what was coming this year, more so than what was coming in the future and the works for the future. And this was pretty much them giving the middle finger to all the doubters, saying that, hey, we are working. When people like that whole narrative that Xbox doesn't care about games or their gamers or their fan base, like just go ahead and throw that argument out the door because of what they did. They showed games that weren't theirs. Yes, they weren't theirs, but they did show that they moved the conference along. It was games only. They barely talked about Game Pass. They talked for Game Pass for what, like 5 minutes. Phil Spencer came back out, talked about the 5 studios that they picked up, and then moved it along with more premieres and more exclusives, and then ended it with Cyberpunk. So I mean, the conference was, the pacing of the conference was great. It was nothing but games. It didn't talk about numbers or invest or anything like that. So it really did impress me. Yeah, like you said, there wasn't any of their own first party games, but like I said, it was more so about the future. They announced those studios, and I have faith in Xbox moving forward.
Last year they did talk about the future as well. So did the year before. They spend a lot of time looking to the future.
But last year, I
mean,
because
this year was supposed to be better. They said last year.
It's become that.
It's like a vicious cycle of them.
That much is true. But last year they didn't exactly put their money where their mouth was. They just said next year will be better, and then we didn't hear anything about any first party studios or anything. All we got were rumors. And this year they actually confirmed that yes, we have these studios.
Yeah, because this felt like the last 4 E3s as far as the promises they make. Because they're like, next year we're gonna be out of the gate. We're gonna be awesome,
but
and then But then, all those games got canceled, and then the year after that, this is gonna be great. Next year's gonna be awesome. Yeah. Hey, guess what?
And
new
then those
console,
games came
mic
out.
drop.
And then those games came out, and they weren't great.
Well, basically, I'm noticing a pattern. It's we're gonna have a great year. Then the year comes up, the games are all canceled. We're gonna have a new console. The year comes up. Here's more in this console. Here's some games that you'll be able to play on it. Next year comes up, new console comes out. None of those games come out. Next year comes up, more promises. They mention another console again. So it's like, it sounds like kind of like a vicious cycle.
Yeah, that's not like a vicious cycle. But I will say, but this one felt different. Like I said, this one did feel different. Like they actually put their money where their mouth is and actually showed their plans for the future. But they didn't really show very much plans other than here's some games and here's a bunch of, like my buddy Demon, it was either you or Lieutenant Surge in the last podcast said they do a real good job at disguising their conference with the word exclusives and premiere. Like they do a real good job at disguising it that way.
Yeah, because they use the word console launch exclusive,
and they did that last year and they did that this year. The only difference was they actually announced their plans for the future. Last year there wasn't much of plans for the future other than here's State of Decay 2 and here's Sea of Thieves and here is Crackdown that we were supposed to be getting, and it keeps getting pushed back and keeps getting pushed back, and that's another story, which I'm done with that game because they keep pushing it back. But it does seem like the future, at least there's a glimmer of hope for Xbox. Everybody's been trying to bury them, and it feels like they can just keep pushing their hand up like Shredder out of the pile and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2. Like, I'm still here. We're still here.
So, guys, before we move on from Xbox, all of you guys, tell me what you thought of Xbox's conference, or you thought it was good or bad, or what was your favorite thing about it, at least.
Says this year they show proof that they are actually working towards something bigger, which is true.
Yeah, I'm not going to count them out. I'm not going to count them out. They just need to get a little more serious than they are, I guess,
and execute it.
Yeah. Now, before we move on, let me state one thing though. Let's count the games that are only for them, that are out, because obviously this year the only thing they have that's only for them, the only game is Forza. So what they're coming out with, just in general, from what they showed us, is Forza, Crackdown, Halo, Gears.
And that's it. 4.
Like Forza, Crackdown, Halo, Gears. I swear to God, there's at least one more. Forza, Halo, Crackdown, Gears. Shit. Forza, Halo, Crackdown, Gears.
They showed some indies. That was about it.
Oh, Forza, Halo, Crackdown, Gears, Ori. Ori's one. Ori. That is theirs. Forza,
new Cuphead
Halo,
DLC.
Gear, Ori. Cuphead. That's not a new game?
No, but they showed the DLC for it. They showed the extra missions and all that stuff.
With
and
the girl, right?
Yeah.
I thought that was a game. Another game.
I'm pretty sure...
Let's count it as another game to be nice, because I think it might be.
I'm pretty sure it was DLC, but you could be right too. It could be another game. I'm pretty sure it was DLC.
Oh, Session Skating. Thank you. So that's 6 games. So I mean, they did show off some things.
Hey, they were sneaky with that Session game because that was developed by an independent studio, and they were throwing demos around on around the internet. I've seen some people like put it on YouTube and on PC, but.
Yeah, it's PC. It's Xbox only.
Really,
so
they were really sneaky with that one by getting that on Xbox and Windows 10.
Yeah, so they have 6
going to be a Windows 10 exclusive.
So they have 6 games. That's not that bad. What's TOV? Anyway, that's not that bad. 6 games. So in hindsight, Microsoft showed off a good amount of games. I have nothing. Listing it out just now definitely changes it.
Rush just said 50 games, 18 mobile premieres, and 15 exclusives. If we can only name 6 or 7 that were theirs, that means you do the math. I mean...
Well, yeah, because the 15 exclusives were launch exclusives, so yeah. Or they have exclusive content on the Xbox, which they still think they're sneaky, because that exclusive content also includes the game being run in native 4K, which is exclusive to the Xbox One, because PS4's is checkerboard 4K, which is fake. So
all I have to say is the future is bright. The future seems to be bright. I don't want to say the future is bright, but it seems to be bright for Xbox.
As long as they keep their forwards and backwards compatibility, then it'll be fine.
Oh, they're gonna keep it. Oh, you know they're gonna keep that. They're gonna keep that. They're not that ridiculous and that dumb. They'll keep that as long as they don't have their games. I'm just interested to see what these studios do in the future. I know that there was a rumor that somebody is doing a Perfect Dark remake and somebody's doing Fable, bringing back Fable, and I believe
it's supposed to be Visceral Games. No, not Visceral. Playground. It's supposed to be Playground. Yeah,
that's doing that. Ninja Theory. I'm excited that they got Ninja Theory because that means we're gonna get more. We could potentially get more games like Hellblade and stuff like that. So I'm interested in that. Looking forward to what they bring. You also notice a trend that they were showing a lot of Japanese games at this press conference. And they seem to be trying to make a point that, hey, you make fun of us because we don't have relationships with these Japanese developers and these Japanese companies, but here we go, we have this. So that was also another thing I noticed, that they were showing a lot of the Japanese games, and Phil made it a point to say we went overseas and had a lot of relationships with the Japanese and overseas, and
they
working on those.
They had such good relationships that they begged to have Tales of Vesperia redone just for it to get on Switch and PS4 as well.
Hey, I mean,
because that was exclusive on the 360, so I find that funny. I was like, oh, sweet, funny. That gives me a reason to pick the game up again.
Right.
And then found that out. I was like,
I agree with that. But it just seems like they made that a point too. So let's see what comes of that. I don't know if they're going to get any Japanese exclusive games to. They might, but you never know. But it seems like Phil was just trying to pull out all the stops. We went to Japan. We made relationships there. We have this. We have all these exclusives. We have all these premieres. Check it out. Here's our studios that we bought. And oh, by the way, Cyberpunk at the end, which once again is not theirs. But regardless, it was a good conference for them.
Well, I guess let's move on to Sony now. Starting with Will. what were your general highlights from Sony?
Yeah, it was probably one of the worst E3.
I'm glad you said that.
As far as like the structure goes, like you announce like 2 games and then you cut to bald people talking. Like,
I am glad you said that.
To be honest, they did spend a lot of people. Well, they spent a lot of time moving around.
I know for some people, like E3 means different things to different people. For some people, it's like how deep you go into games. For some people, it's new game announcement. For me, like E3 as the show is how you show your stuff. That's why I think Microsoft and Square Enix have like a couple of the best E3s.
Mm-hmm. My thing with Sony was, okay, so you bring us to this church. I'm like, oh, cool, we're at a church. Are you gonna do the conference there? You like trying to break some sort of genre breaking thing there? You're in a church, that's weird. And then come to find out they're in a church and they play The Last of Us 2 music for way too long, all this theatrics for it. And then all of a sudden they show you the footage and oh my gosh, they're in a church. And then they show the footage of The Last of Us 2 and then that's it. Everybody gets excited and then we have to wait for literally 20 to 30 minutes for them to show us the next game. That was what really hacked me off. That was just awful. But other than that, like the games they showed were really good. Like what was that game? Ghost of yes, that game looks fire. That was the highlight.
If you want something similar to it, definitely take a look at Way of Samurai because that's still the same developer of that. Way of Samurai is literally one of my absolute favorite titles. And funny enough, something that had me hype on the Microsoft conference that I didn't even mention just now was that Samurai game that they had there. Yeah, I forgot all about that game, and it looks freaking beautiful. Those are my kind of games. Like, I really like that a lot.
Yeah, exactly. Death Stranding, everybody was hyped on that. That game just seems too wild for me. Kojima, whatever that dude's smoking, whatever that dude is taking, like that just was on some next level. I don't even know.
I'm confused about the baby still. Like, I want to know more about this baby thing.
Me too. Other than that, what else did they show? I can't exactly remember. I just remember after Death Stranding, I kind of zoned out because it was like, whoa, this is too much for me to take in.
We got about 5 seconds of their zombie game that I can't remember the name of currently.
The Days Gone game.
Yeah, Days Gone. We got about 5 seconds of Days Gone.
Control was one.
Yeah,
that was pretty much, I thought, Quantum Break. But you know,
yeah, I guess they didn't really have. Sony really didn't have.
That
Rick and Morty game, I loved that.
Yeah, the Rick and Morty game was cool. They didn't have a lot. They literally filled time by talking about stuff
and music,
which is okay, fine, whatever. But I don't want to hear a lot of Sony fans be like, that was the most amazing thing ever. They only showed you like 5 or 6 games and then they talked about it a bunch. Yes, I get it.
Oh, the fanboys
were beautiful and they were bangers. Yes,
the fanboys love each of their little conferences that happen because everybody thinks their own little thing was the best thing ever made.
They were bangers. Those games were bangers. All those games look great, but at the same time, like I don't want to hear you complaining about Microsoft doesn't have games or they don't show games. They showed like 50 of them and you guys did. You guys only showed like 5.
They at least showed ones that were only on their system.
That's also true.
So that kind of makes a difference. They have the same amount of games.
Well, they did show Kingdom Hearts, and like you mentioned, they had that better trailer.
Yeah, it made sense that they showed Kingdom Hearts just because that used to be just theirs.
Right. Like Xbox is like Xbox. You guys get Frozen. You get to get all the little kids hyped, and then Sony, you guys get Captain Jack Sparrow. And I was like, oh, Captain Jack Sparrow. I was like, that's pretty cool. They did get the better trailer. They did. They really did.
Yeah, they were trying to... I understand what Sony was doing with the music. They were trying to get people set in the mood of what video was about to come on. Is what they were doing. Which made sense, and it did its job, just for too long.
Exactly. And that just goes to show, like, when your pockets get fat, and you get too comfortable with the competition, like, you feel like you can do whatever the heck you want to do.
And, I mean, Sony did prior... Because, let's be real, though. Let's be really, really real. Let's be really real. Microsoft is the only one that needs E3 to prove a point. The only ones.
True.
Microsoft, Sony, and Nintendo both have their own stuff throughout the year. Nintendo does at least 4 or 5 Nintendo Directs throughout the year. Mm-hmm. And then they have their big something in December. And Sony always has GDC, PSX, and game and PAX. Sony has other stuff that they do things at. Sony and Nintendo are infamous for not showing things off at E3 all the time and then doing their own thing later in the year. Microsoft, they're the only ones that have to take E3 seriously because they don't have.
Well, now they're starting to do their own inside Xbox now.
They are doing the inside Xbox,
that path too.
But they've already lost enough interest. They've lost the audience's interest enough to where I don't know if inside Xbox is going to be seen by people, and it'll be something that's seen later. For example, let's say they show Halo gameplay at Inside Xbox and a bunch of people decide not to go see it, then they'll find out about it maybe an hour or two later and then watch the Inside Xbox that's been posted as a video later. So it's like people aren't going to do their best to try and tune in for that because there's not much to be surprised about with them. You know what I mean? Like, for example, with this E3 showing, since they didn't have much and they do it Inside Xbox, why do I want to watch it? Like, what are they going to do? Show me some Gears of War gameplay? Probably not. So, like, they're just going to talk. So it's like, if they show some Halo gameplay and nobody knew they were going to do that, then they wouldn't watch Inside Xbox unless Microsoft said, hey, watch Inside Xbox to get some exclusive Halo gameplay. That's the only way they can do it. But if they want it to be a surprise, they're not going to mention that. Therefore, no one's going to be there. So they don't have it the way Nintendo and Sony do. True.
Well, they're going to have to build it because
they have to build it.
It seems like that's the way to go nowadays. Instead of waiting for this big, huge E3, like people are they're doing more things for their own base because they know that their base will be there. And I feel like Xbox is trying to do the same, but they just don't have the bangers or the ability to do that yet.
Yeah, because like Sony set this E3 up, last E3 for this E3. Because last year they showed us a bunch of games that we felt like we were literally never going to get. This year we saw all those games and we actually saw gameplay. Because last year there were only trailers.
Baby.
Yeah, last year they were only trailers. This year, they were actually gameplay. So we got to see a lot more with Sony this time than we saw last time, because when we saw Spider-Man, it was just questions. When we saw Death Stranding, it was really just questions. Ghost of Tsushima, for me, it was a beautiful trailer, and I'm like, where's my gameplay? I really want to see this gameplay. I know who it's made by. I got to see what they're doing. We got gameplay. So, like, that's why I enjoyed Sony's, because sure, they didn't show a lot, but they at least showed you gameplay.
No. I enjoyed the crap out of it. I'm not gonna lie. The games that they showed, I enjoyed. I can't say I didn't enjoy it, but I just did not like the pacing, and I did not like having to wait 20 minutes, 15 minutes here and there to see a game.
That's true. That's
what killed me.
You know.
That's true. Was there anything you wanted to put in on that, Will? What's that?
I'm not completely feeling Spider-Man either.
You don't like Spider-Man?
Oh, you're not. Oh, I thought Spider-Man looked great. Like these games, like that Spider-Man and the Ghost of what I can't even pronounce that, Tsushima, like alone merit me wanting to go out and purchase a PlayStation, because I don't have a PlayStation yet. I've been waiting because I've been waiting on this PS5 rumor and we haven't got one yet, but I'm probably about ready to get one because these games look fire. These games absolutely look dope.
Oh, you're gonna get a PS4?
Yeah, I'm gonna make my way to. I'm gonna get work some overtime. The problem with me getting a PS4 now is like there's so many games coming out. Like,
well, let's be real with this PS5 thing. Sony's already come out and said they don't plan on having another console till 2022. So you got some time. Yeah, you got some time.
Which is great. But I'm wondering when Microsoft's gonna end up hitting theirs. Like that's the one thing I'm worried about too. Like because if Microsoft ends up saying, hey, we're gonna come out with one pretty soon, then Sony might hit the panic button and say, okay, well here comes ours.
They don't need to hit the panic button. They're doing so well. Microsoft can't touch them. Microsoft making a new console right now is not going to do anything for them. They're going to put it out and no one's going to fucking buy it because people can't trust them.
Right. But they already put it out the X, but yeah. Go
as far as Spider-Man, Will and I already talked about this. I'm pleased with Spider-Man because in a nutshell, it's just like the past games I liked. So
yes.
I'm already okay with it.
Yep.
But what were some of the things you didn't like about it, Will?
Overall, it just, like, as far as the majority of what they've shown, it just seems super, like, guided. Like, everything just seems scripted. Like, nothing seems natural about it. Mm-hmm. Like, they say, oh, you're web swinging through New York, and that's part of the dream. But everything seems contextual, like, overly contextualized.
And that is a problem Insomniac has with their presentation of just about any game. So I definitely see that, because that's how Sunset Overdrive felt, and it ended up not being that, like, in the end.
I will say this much: the game might have a bit of identity crisis, but as far as the concept of your top 5 biggest villains are out to get you is kind of
I expressed I didn't like that too.
As it's kind of a ripoff of Arkham Asylum.
No, it's not. That's one thing people need to understand, though.
I think I think there's a lot of parallels there.
Arkham did not come first. Spider-Man had a similar gameplay style to that forever.
I'm not talking gameplay style. I'm talking like that story, that whole.
Yeah,
the Sinister Six is still a thing, though. That was still something. They just pulled straight from the comic and put it straight into the game. So it's like it's not. Arkham did a good job of taking that from Spider-Man, and then Spider-Man decided to use its own formula later.
Fair enough.
But I would definitely never. No, I like Arkham, but I'm not going to give it that kind of recognition in any form because it's like
I don't think he was like, oh, I'm locked in a prison. I don't think he's ever been locked in a prison with the Sinister. Well, with these 5 villains or whatever.
But I will say this much: I did like the gameplay. The gameplay looked smooth, fluent. That combat looked dope. The web swing. I mean, I'm in on that. So they already sold me on that one.
All right.
The combat also seems.
No, the combat you shouldn't be. Well, the combat's always been bad in Spider-Man games. You just have to get over that one. That's not good. I don't think I even looked at him. Was like, oh yeah,
Spider-Man 1.
You like amazing Spider-Man though.
The Spider-Man game that had the best combat, in my opinion, was the original in PS1 and Super Nintendo.
What? You didn't like? Remember the what movie was that? The Amazing Spider-Man 2, the movie.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah, it looks like that. The game looks like that combat. Honestly, it looks just like that combat.
I love that game, so that's why I'm like in on that combat. But that's just me.
Like, I mean, I guess I enjoy Web of Shadows combat, but I mean, even then, it's like it's not. The combat always feels broken on Spider-Man games. They're not gonna be able to fix that. It feels broken on Arkham too, in my opinion. You just mash that button until you see the exclamation mark go above their head, and then you.
True.
So I mean, it's not like all these these superhero games aren't necessarily like the most groundbreaking thing. You just gotta take them.
What was that other Spider-Man, Into the Shadows or whatever?
Web of Shadows, yeah. Or are you talking about No, you're probably talking about Web of Shadows. That's my favorite one.
Is it Web of Shadows? There was one that came out on the 360, or maybe it was right before the
next
release. Yeah. There was one that was kind of similar to that, and I don't think that game did very well. Did it?
Which one? Web of Shadows?
I can't remember which one it was. I never played it. I just saw gameplay of it. It was in a 360. And it was
Shattered Dimension.
Then maybe that's it. But it was very similar to the Arkham.
Then yeah, you're talking about Shattered Dimension.
Yeah, it's very similar to the Arkham.
I played a Let's Play for that.
But I can't wait for this Spider-Man. It looks good.
Alrighty, so it's funny because all the
Dimension.
Sony footage did not even get to play. We're talking about Spider-Man, and it's right here on the screen, and no one gets to see it.
Skip it.
You're right. I think it looks fun. We will talk about Sony. Well, one more Sony thing. Will, was there anything you wanted to bring up?
Oh, about Sony? No, it's just, it's Sony. I mean, like nothing they do is like cool. Like I thought the Ghost of Tsushima was cool. I still need to be sold on some aspects of Spider-Man, but so far I thought it was okay. Still like really underwhelming.
Here's the only thing that ruins me with Sony, and it's not even Sony. It's the supporters of Sony.
Oh yeah. Well, to be fair,
Those
I don't like
garbage.
Xbox game fanboys or Sony fanboys. They're both just.
I mean, I don't like fanboys. I don't like fanboys of any part, and that's what kind of ruined this conference for me because I was watching it with a buddy of mine, and he had a dude in his chat that was 100% like Sony. So he was like, "Oh my god, that was amazing!" So I was like, "Bro, I had to try to watch this while listening to this dude just go nuts about how great the conference was," and I'm like, it wasn't really that great.
Yeah.
So that's part of the luster why I'm like I wasn't sold on the conference because of the experience that I had with it. But either way, I can't knock them. These games look good. Like that fight with Electro, like you're seeing right now, fire. That was awesome.
I don't know.
That doesn't look fun at all, though.
I'm getting the collector's edition. I
think it looks great.
I personally, because here's the thing with me.
Look fun.
Well, the thing with me though is, for years, and this has something to do with it, and at the same time not, but it goes along with it. For years, 20 years of my life gaming, I've been the biggest Sonic fan that anybody can imagine, and not one of those cringe ones, just one that plays video games, really enjoys the content. I love fast-paced gameplay, and like, what intrigued me, sure this game has its slow moments a lot, but like when he's chasing Electro and he's dodging stuff and swinging in between things, to me is incredibly fast paced because you are like literally paranoid about everything hitting you Like, just looking at this, all this stuff everywhere, falling over, him going through it.
Being like a flash.
Yeah, to me, that's fast-paced, and that's the type of stuff that I really enjoy. So just seeing that, I was like, yeah, I'm in. I mean, I was already in. It's Spider-Man. I buy every Spider-Man game that comes out. I'm getting a collector's edition of this, and I will be unboxing it. So for me, the game did what it needed for me. My uncle said he hated the way this game looked and had no intention of getting it. So it's like, you know, there are people that don't like it at all. But it at least, you know, it did me right, so I'm good on it.
Not me. But you know, there's still time. Like you said, Insomniac is just that type of company. So
I mean, when I get the game, you know, I'm going to be streaming it, and you know, you'll be able to decide whether you really like it or hate it. If you
no, I pre-ordered it.
Oh, you pre-ordered it?
Yeah, I'm going to play the game.
You're just not sold
on my
on
reservations, though.
Okay.
You're just holding back expectations. I understand.
Yeah,
that.
yeah, that's
holding
shit.
back.
I had to do that with Sonic Forces. Oh my god, I don't even want to get into that. Yeah, hold back your expectations so you don't hate it as much as I hated Forces, and you'll be good.
Yeah, I didn't have any hope for that, but you go ahead.
Oh my god, no, it's because who they said was working on it. It was such a lie. But I guess let's move on to the last one, being Nintendo.
Yes, sir.
The one that I'm sure most of you guys have been waiting for. Anybody that subscribed to this channel really likes Nintendo a lot. Now, I want to start off with that third-party game, because that should have been in the third-party section. But it's funny, they showed off this game, and then they had they had and I was like, the hell is a fucking Star Fox? Okay. Yeah, I was like, Star Fox, and then my roommate was like, what? And I'm like, no, that's from Star Fox. And they showed Fox. She's like, ow. I'm like, yeah, this is freaking awesome. It's like, come on. It's like, who doesn't want to play No Man's Skylanders? Like, this looks amazing.
No Man's Skylanders.
Like, I am incredibly interested in this game, and I will be buying it day one. And I've been trying to pre-order it. I have not yet, but I'm going to be pre-ordering it, like, probably after this, to be honest. I'm going to get my ass up and go to the store and pre-order this game.
Yeah, I'm interested in it. Like, just because of the Star Fox thing. That's the only reason why I would be half interested in it, because of that. Mainly because I'm dying to see a Star Fox game again. That's not terrible.
Yeah, and this game looks, to me, it looks promising.
It looks fun.
Yeah, this game looks incredibly promising in my opinion. And honestly, it looks like the Star Fox game that I would have almost always wanted. Because what I want from Star Fox is exactly what they did in Star Fox Assault, which I will be streaming, by the way, because I love that game and I took it from my friend earlier. Because Star Fox Assault, you get out of the vehicle, you get into the vehicle, you fly, you shoot. It's basically Star Fox Halo in a nutshell, which is the type of game that I want.
That game was dope.
So
underrated,
severely underrated, and that's the type of game that I want. And as far as like flying and shooting, this game seems like it's definitely going to give me the type of Star Fox gameplay I've been wanting. Because the Star Fox gameplay is normally not something I cared that much about, to be very honest. It's funny because when people see my...
Go ahead.
No, it's funny because when people see my name, they're like, yeah, Andros. I'm like, no, my name is Andros, and I actually don't like Star Fox at all. So it's like...
a monkey.
Yeah, because people think I like Star Fox just because of my name, and it's like, no, he has 2 S's, I have 1, and I hate Star Fox. But right now, this is their chance to get me to be a legit Star Fox fan, because I enjoyed Adventures, which Star Fox fans hated, and I enjoyed Assault, which was underrated. So it's like, this will be my 3rd Star Fox, technically Star Fox game that I'll enjoy.
Lieutenant Surge says they made that game hoping they could get the rights to put Star Fox into it. I mean, you're probably right.
Yeah,
you're probably right.
They basically made their own Star Fox game and then begged Nintendo for it.
And begged Miyamoto to say, Miyamoto, you're not doing anything with Star Fox. Can we please use Star Fox? And Miyamoto was like, I don't have to do work, and you guys did well with Rabbids? Okay.
Basically. Bet. And that's what's funny. When you buy, if you are a Nintendo Switch owner and you buy this game, you have no choice but to have Star Fox, because that's the only version of the game you can get.
That's why I'm buying it.
Yeah,
that's
so it's like...
That's exactly why I'm getting it.
It's like, it comes with that. You don't have to buy an extra thing. It comes with it. And that's what makes that amazing. Because that's why I even played Skylanders, and I fell in love with Skylanders, by the way. So anybody that disagrees with me on that, yourself. I love Skylanders. Put it on the hardest difficulty. Very, very fun if you have a friend to play with. But that's the only reason why I bought that game, to play as Donkey Kong and Bowser. And ended up loving the series, so I play as them in just about everything that they're compatible with. But I don't know, I'm excited for this game. But Will, what are your general thoughts on this? I don't think we even got to really talk about it.
It looks all right. Personally, I'm never really interested in the, toys to life thing, but it looks really good, and I'm glad that they, like, when it first showed up and Fox was like, all right, boys, let's rock and roll, like that was really cool. But I'm not getting the game, but I'm happy for whoever wants the game or likes the game.
I was confused whenever you heard, I don't know if that was Slippy or Peppy, I can't remember whose voice that was. When you heard that, I was like, what? Like, they stole that from Star Fox. And then I slowly started to realize that, oh, this is a crossover. And I was like, oh, this is awesome. And I was so excited. So just based on that alone, I'm going to get that game just because Star Fox is going to be it. I cannot wait.
Well, they did shed some light on the toys to game thing. Toys to life aspect of the game. And it sounds like you don't have to buy anything else for this game. When you buy the core game, you don't need the other stuff. Because the other stuff is just extra weapons and extra ships. Like, they don't really...
Sandoval just said it best. People who don't have a Switch but love Starlink, they're going to miss a lot if they don't buy one ASAP. This is true because it's almost like this game was made specifically to have Star Fox in the game.
Yeah, it has extra content for Star Fox, extra storyline pieces, and extra levels. Star Fox exclusive. And the game is built to where, like, the other ships, if you buy other ships, which I won't because I have an R-Wing, why the hell would I want to? You can, but the thing is the way the game is made, you still upgrade your ship, you still upgrade the weapons you have, so you don't even have to buy other parts. What comes with the game is what you're able to use, and that's another thing that really intrigues me, because I don't need to buy extra stuff. When I get the core game, that's it. So that's what has me the most excited, is that I don't need extra stuff, because that's the thing about, like, I have Lego Dimensions, Disney Infinity, and Skylanders, and you have to have, in some aspects, extra stuff in order to fully enjoy the game. In this game, that's not the case, and so I'm really happy about that. But yeah, I guess moving on from that, since Pokemon's on the screen, we'll quickly talk about that, because there's not much to talk about. Did you guys watch the gameplay for it?
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. I still enjoyed it. My expectations are still the same for the game. It looks like what I want. The person playing it, though, she pissed me off. I'm like, stop. Like, you are going to make people hate this game more than they already do. Stop running into Pokemon and capturing Pokemon. Walk around Viridian Forest. Explore. Go to Pewter City. Talk to people in town. Walk around town. Let me see the inside of the Poke Center. Let me see the inside of the Pokemart. What the fuck are you doing? You're trying to sell this game on the game, not the part that people were uninterested in. That triggered me. I was so upset. I'm like, stop walking around and capturing Pokemon, you stupid Ooh, I was so upset.
Yeah. And it was funny because the guy took shots. He's like, now that we finally got into Viridian City and, had a couple battles, we can actually do a gym battle. Like, the guy was just like, the guy next to me was like throwing low-key shade.
Yeah, because she was playing like a fuck. Dude, stop. And then it made the game look bad because every Pokemon she captured, the Pokemon leveled up. It's like, you are making this game look bad. Stop.
Right. Like, here's my biggest pet peeve with this game, and it is a very, very small pet peeve. The game looks great. The battles look dope. They went back to Kanto. I cannot complain about a lot on this game. My only pet peeve is when you go to capture Pokemon, it doesn't seem like you can fight the Pokemon. It seems like they just took that exactly from Pokemon Go. You encounter a Pokemon and you throw a Pokeball at it, and then you capture it, and then you train it that way, which bothers me because traditionally you're supposed to weaken the Pokemon and then capture it. So that's my biggest pet peeve with this game is that right there. Other than that, everything else looks great. I don't like that aspect. That's the only thing I don't like.
Yeah. Wait, I'm sorry. I'm really, really rude. I did not catch what you didn't like because I borderline wasn't listening.
I don't like the encounters with wild Pokemon. The fact that you don't have to battle them to weaken them.
Yeah, and that's something a lot of people didn't like.
That's it.
A lot of people didn't like that. And I do apologize. When I'm like typing, my brain just cuts off. Like,
oh, you're good. You're good.
But a lot of people didn't like that. And as I explained in the last Pulse chat Will and I did about Pokemon, and I'm going to explain it briefly, is I never really battle wild Pokemon. Like, anybody that's seen me play Pokemon on this channel, if any of those videos are still up, I don't battle wild Pokemon. When they come up, if I don't capture it and I don't want that Pokemon, I leave. I only do trainer battles, really. Or if it says you're not, or if it says fail to escape, then I kill it because I have to. But overall, I don't really battle wild Pokemon. That's not really a thing for me. Just because it gets in the way of me playing the game. Because there's nothing worse than, and this is why I agree with them taking it out. If you play Pokemon as a kid like I did, going through Viridian Forest, even worse, going through Mount Moon, and every single step you take, you get stopped by a wild Zubat or something.
100%.
You know how many times it literally, no joke, made me cry to the point where my mom took my Game Boy away from me, took the batteries out, and I couldn't play it the rest of the day. I cried
Potions
because I went through the last gym, going up to the Elite Four, and you get stopped every few seconds. The Pokemon don't let you run, and then they murder your whole team.
Hold on. We just searched this in the original games. You didn't have to weaken Pokemon. What do you mean you didn't have to weaken Pokemon?
To be fair, you don't really have to weaken Pokemon in general. There are just some Pokemon that are, you know, some Pokemon are kind of assholes and don't let you capture them until they're weakened. But overall, here, you guys will see when I stream Pokemon on the 14th and on the 15th and 16th, you'll see what I mean by the way I play. I normally just throw a ball. And if they don't stay in after the first 2 times I throw a ball,
I'm out.
Then I take them out. And then I capture them. But that's pretty much how I play. If they don't stay in the ball the first 2 times, then I weaken them and capture them. But otherwise, that's not the way I play Pokemon personally. So when I saw they took that out, I was pleased with that. Because, like, going through...
Hey, fair enough.
But yeah, going through the final place to get Articuno and go to the end of the game was really... Oh, was it Articuno? Moltres? It doesn't matter. Going through the end of the game to get to the Elite Four and having to deal with being stopped by every single freaking Pokemon and having to battle about 80% of them because they won't let you escape, and then you lose at the end. That was really, really upsetting because that's a lot of battles you have to go through because you get stopped all the time. So now that you have the option to not even have to battle them, that definitely makes me happy in that aspect, personally. But I don't know. What are your general thoughts on the game, Will? Because I know we touched base on it before, and you said you generally like the way it looks.
Yeah, I think aesthetically it looks really good. Mm-hmm. Like the local co-op. It's a great idea. I think it's implemented well.
Is that a feature you think you'll be using at all?
Oh, I will be.
That depends. Like I know a couple of my neighbors really like Pokemon, so it depends.
Is this a day one purchase for you?
Yeah, I don't know. Like it's up in the air right now.
Which version were you gonna go for? Because I'm going for Let's Go Pikachu. Are any of you guys out there Let's Go Eevee purchasers? Let me know in the comment.
Me.
I was gonna go for Eevee. Yeah.
You're going for Eevee. Now let me school you, scrubs. No, I was kidding. Your Eevee cannot evolve. Are you aware of this?
Oh, I get that.
I still like Eevee.
And I'm sporting the Eevee right now in Pokemon Alpha Sapphire, and I gotta say, I'm liking Eevee less and less now. Even though I used to love Eevee, my Eevee is the most pathetic Eevee I've ever captured in my life, and I am not pleased. Like, it has Swift and Tackle, it's weak as hell, and all it likes to do is die. So it's like, I don't think I'm ever gonna choose Let's Go Eevee for that reason. And you can't evolve it, so it's like, I think I'm done with the idea of Eevee now.
So you can't evolve the Eevee in Let's Go.
Nope.
Eevee.
Just like you can't evolve your Pikachu, you can't evolve your Eevee. So it's like that kind of makes you rethink the idea of getting Eevee.
I might still get Eevee because I do like Eevee a lot, but that is a bummer that you can't evolve your Eevee that they give you. Like, what's the point then?
I thought that was a given. Like,
right, but I think that this game looks great. I am so pleased with the way it looks. I really am. And you guys are kind of changing my opinion on the whole capturing Pokemon part. So yeah, I may be this is definitely 100% a day one, especially because in my brain I was in a bit of a crisis because in my brain I figured with the NSO and the online service, Smash would come out earlier than they announced, which we'll get into that later. I thought Smash would be for sure like fall, September, October, but nope. Right. So now it's like, okay, well, Pokemon's definitely on my list for sure as a day one buy.
Yeah, I think I said in the last Pulse podcast, that I was in with you, that we shouldn't be surprised if we do not see Yoshi, because that seems like a game that would come out nearly around the time that Kirby came out this year, so that'd be a next year title.
Well, yeah.
And we touched base on the new Nintendo IP, which actually did get shown as the first game that got shown. And we talked about the possibility, although the other two things didn't happen, but they didn't show Mario Tennis. They didn't need to. They did show Mario Party, so that was awesome.
Heck yes, they did.
And but they didn't show anything for Mario Odyssey. So at least Mario Party was shown, because we did talk about that. You know,
I could see some of those rumors being shown in November during their later direct. I could see that being a big thing, where that Isle Delfino still being a thing, and that's coming out later. Yoshi, I don't know, man. Like I feel like since they didn't say too much about it, I think it might be slated for later.
No, it's a March title. Because they're gonna show, you know, they're gonna have another direct later on, and they're definitely gonna bring up Yoshi then.
I hope so, because I really do want to play that game, and I hope it is an early release. Mario Party actually gonna have a new mini games. Yeah, they showed a few of the mini games, and it looks dope. It's also gonna have this, like, the way they showed Mario Party was awesome. It looks good, and then the way that you can connect your two Switches together and play it that way. Yeah, so that looked good.
Yeah, and the way that works is if you're in, because like if you're on the TV, then the game that, like, for example, the one that they use with the tank mode will play like a regular full screen. But if you're in the handheld mode and you have multiple Switches or just one, the mini games actually change just slightly to accommodate that small.
I know, that's pretty awesome. That's pretty awesome, man. Like that's really innovative, and to me anyway.
Will, what did you think of Mario Party overall? Because I'm actually really, really happy that they finally made it a regular Mario Party game, because they kept putting the regular Mario Parties on the 3DS and then giving like Wii U and consoles the stupid ones where they all jump in a car together or travel to each space together rather than individually. So I'm really happy they decided to split everyone up and just make it a core regular Mario Party game. That makes me happy.
Yeah, and they called it Super Mario Party instead of Mario Party 11.
Yeah.
To kind of maybe give it a new fresh...
Basically a reboot, I guess.
Rebooting it pretty much, yeah. Mario Party is going to be definitely going to be... it's going to have to be a day one purchase for me because of... my wife has already said it's going to be a day one. I would love to get it for free. That would be nice. But
I'm hoping I do.
But it's going to be day one for me. My wife has already said so. So that's going to be day one for me.
Yeah. But Will, what did you think of the Mario Party?
You know, it looks alright. I'm glad you can play as like Bowser now, and the mini games look really, really fun. Like the whole game looks really cool, actually.
You know,
like what?
We can play it online together.
I thought they confirmed the online.
Do you think they did?
That's what I thought. I don't know.
I missed the hell out of that one.
I didn't see whether they did either, but I would assume so. I would assume so only because it seems like before what's the president's name, before he resigned and gave his position over to Furukawa, he had said that their focus would be the NSO and having games online for that. So I would hope and assume that would be the case for this game. But
if they want people to pay monthly, they
exactly. That's what I'm saying. If you want people to pay monthly and say, okay, this is worth getting, then you better implement your games in there. You better, and that so Pokemon Go better have some sort of online aspect. Or Let's Go better have one.
It's not like a big elaborate one, but it's there.
It's enough.
Yeah,
right.
It's there. You can only play with your friends, so it's not like there's no Wonder Trade, there's no Stranger Danger. It's just if they're on your friends list, you can battle them and trade with them. That's what that is. Which is fine. I mean, I don't need to do anything with strangers. I don't see the point. People are bummed about that for some reason. It's like, why do you want to do random battles with people you don't know? You might as well just do it with people you do know, so you can make fun of them later. Or people that are already on your friends list. So, like, if you're like a YouTuber or a Twitch streamer, you're already set when it comes to people to play with. But I guess if you're just some kid at school, then you might be limited. I don't know. I don't even know. My brain doesn't work. But I'm hoping this online does include, like, Mario Party and stuff. It'd be nice if they take pre-existing titles like Donkey Kong and add servers. But
yeah, they almost have to, dude. Like, I mean, you can't release this service and then only have 3 games that you can play on there, or 4, which would be Sushi Striker and Mario Tennis and Splatoon and Smash, and say here you go, which would be enough to get their fans to pay for it. I'm not bashing them there. People will pay for it regardless. But yeah, I just think they need to implement more to it. But that's a different conversation.
I mean, let's do a thing. Will, because you if I'm not wrong, you are excited for Sushi Striker. Sell me Sushi Striker right now, because people keep talking about this game. I said I don't care about it. I have no interest in it. Now people are trying to raise eyebrows with me. Give me a reason to want it.
I'm with you.
You're not that excited, Will?
I'm not excited. I haven't even played it, honestly.
Okay, because like you seem like someone that was also sold on it, but I guess that was your friend then.
Yeah. Oh yeah. My friend, he's a big
I still don't want it. I still don't want it. I can call my friend in here right now and be like, sell me in this game. He'll probably try his best. It's like,
I'm not sold on it. It just doesn't seem like my kind of game. It's a puzzle game, and
there's
online aspects to it. No, I haven't seen the reviews. Does it have good or bad ones?
Oh my god, they're disgustingly good.
I mean, who knows? Maybe it's a great game. Maybe I have the demo on there. Maybe I'll just pop it real quick and try it. But my wife said she played it. She didn't like it. She said the cutscenes were funny though. But she played it and she didn't like it too much. And so it just doesn't interest me. And and it still baffles me that this is going to be a big online seller for them. Like that just still blows my mind that that's going to be a thing. Like it looks like Tetris. You know what I mean? Like it's a puzzle game. It reminds me of Tetris. Like I don't know the mechanics of it in general, but it's still. So I mean, there must be. And here's the deal. I'm gonna go ahead and just say I'm gonna go ahead and not doubt Nintendo on this one, because I doubted them on Mario Tennis until I played the demo. I was like, how is Mario Tennis gonna be competitive and online? And then I played the demo. Oh, that's how. So I would go ahead and keep my faith in them on this game and say how it's gonna be competitive online. Oh, that's how. If I play it, I would assume that's what happened, but I'm still not interested in it.
Quick thing, Edward, thank you for that. That was actually really awesome, dude. And next to that, you said you are a weeaboo, so I'm assuming you're excited for Sushi Striker. Are you? Because if you are, try to convince me to get this game. Like, try to convince me to get it. If someone is able to convince me. I should call
him my friend.
Say what?
I should call him my friend right now.
Yeah, because
he's in my living room right now.
Really? Because like if someone can convince me to get this game, if you can give me info on this game, I will consider getting it and then streaming it for everyone that might want to be convinced themselves or play it. Because it just baffles me that it's getting Breath of the Wild style praise, God of War style praise, and I'm not interested in this game. So it's like, is there something wrong with me? Like I need info on it now.
All right.
Like I don't get it.
So
I don't know if there's anything wrong with you. I just think that.
Okay, so
my friend here, he's on the border of like not getting Sushi Striker and getting Sushi Striker. So what do you think about it?
Sushi Striker.
You think it's good?
Yes. I play it for like 3 days straight. I don't know what you mean.
Yeah. Okay. So it's
sell us on it.
So give us the details.
Give us the details and tell us about it. Because it's getting reviews and we don't know why it's getting.
The matching game is where you like link plates together. It's like a mini game, but it's also more competitive play because you got to outsmart the enemy, and it's like a really competitive game. So if you like competitive games, you should get the game. Plus the animation, where most of the cutscenes are like top par with better anime than Elliot and some other shows.
Let me ask him a question real quick. So, do you see this game becoming like being on the competitive scene in the future? Like, do you see that happening?
Do you see the game being on the competitive scene in the future?
Yes, I see it.
Okay, now does it have any local multiplayer, online multiplayer?
Like 3 months.
And hold on, I'll just give you the earbud. Only one earbud, so.
Go ahead and ask him, Andy.
So, does this game have local multiplayer, online multiplayer? What games does it have? What is its like general appeal other than like the anime portion of it?
Well, I just played the story mode because I only played the demo, but I'm really trying to get that game too. So I don't really know what.
Then the demo definitely sold you. The demo's still available right now, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll probably. All right, guys. For everyone that's here, if you're interested in seeing this game, I will download this demo and I will do a short little live stream of the demo, and we will see what we all think together of this game.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get the demo because, like I said, it's getting reviews, and I don't understand. And I'm not bashing it. Like I said, I have faith in Nintendo that it's good. I just need, like, to me in my brain, I just can't fit that concept in my brain that this is going to be a competitive game. But apparently, it is. It is. So I mean, good on Nintendo, man. I mean, good on Nintendo for making that a thing. But to me, I just, in my brain, I can't figure it out. For the life of me, I can't figure it out. I'll just need to play the demo and just reserve judgment. That's the only way I have to look at it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, fair enough. I guess I'll give this demo a try. Let everyone see it, because today we are supposed to be continuing the Kirby All-Star Allies stream, and then I guess after that I will do some Sushi Striker. But as far as Nintendo is concerned, what else did you guys want to touch base on that they had going on at their showcase? Other than Smash, because we're obviously getting to Smash. That's going to be the last thing we talk about.
They didn't, I mean, what else did they show besides the Mario Party and the Pokemon
how about Fire
Let's
Emblem?
Go? Fire Emblem, that's not coming out till next year. Fire Emblem looked good. So that is a definitely must buy. But for me, I don't know if it's a day one must buy for me personally, though.
Fire Emblem?
Yeah, I don't know for me personally for this, because like you said, if there's a bunch of games coming out like February, the Yoshis and the Fire Emblems, I don't know. I don't know how I will be able to make that fit into a day one purchase. But Fire Emblem did look good. What did they show after Fire Emblem? There was something they showed. Let me get the recap.
I remember everything now.
And I was like, that looks interesting. What was it?
Now, Will, before we continue on, though, anything in the Nintendo, because you have not actually talked very much. In the Nintendo one, is there anything that you wanted to mention, or what were your highlights overall?
Oh, yeah.
Other than Smash.
Man, let me tell you.
Let me tell you
something.
Let me tell you
Oh
about
my
it.
god. The freaking, when they announced the Octopath Traveler, the second demo,
Yes.
I jumped over my chair like 40 times. I was just like, that was the end of that for me. Like, it was the best like E3 ever for me. Right there. So yeah, that was a highlight.
Let's see here. They showed the.
They also showed Xenoblade.
Xenoblade DLC.
Mm-hmm.
That comes out September.
My friends noted that that's actually like that they would have to have a completely different world or something for that. I didn't play through the game all the way because I'm like nowhere on there. But he noted when he saw that there are a lot of things that were so different that he thought it was a completely different game.
Hey,
in general.
good on them. We got Fortnite on the Switch. That was obviously another one that we got.
Mm-hmm.
Yay on that. Paladins came out today. Yay on that.
It isn't free. I'm a little biffed about that.
Yeah, I was gonna.
That
ask
one
you
isn't
about
free
that.
for now. I don't know how it works.
You have to buy like the
because
Founders thing because like
I
I
didn't
didn't
buy
see...
the Founders Pack with it, but my wife bought the Founders Pack. It's on our Switch, but since she bought the Founders Pack, I don't have the Founders Pack. When I went to go play it, I didn't have any of the characters, so I don't know how that works.
Yeah, because that's weird. Because like even when you read the description, it says a free-to-play game. But how is it free-to-play if I have to
Yeah, I saw
buy
that
it?
too.
It'll be later in the summer. It will be free to play. I'm thinking they're just trying to bang on people with the hype, wanting to buy the Founders Pack first, and then
I
later
guess, and that
they
makes
will.
sense.
Then later they will release it for free to try to get people to get the Founders Pack, because there will be a lot of people that will get this game for free and not get the Founders Pack.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm hoping this pressures freaking Blizzard to put Overwatch on. That's just me.
Me too. That would be nice, but I don't know if Blizzard will do that.
They probably won't, but
Fortnite on the Switch. Have you played it yet?
I didn't. I downloaded it. I did not turn it on just yet. I did see people say, "Oh, it's 30 frames per second," but I mean,
yeah, 30 frames per second, and then when sometimes the frames drop, the resolution on it. Just because I played it on the X, I'm really spoiled on it. So when I went to go play this, I was like, "Ew, what is this?" But it is solid on the Switch.
I mean, it's good to get your
More so than I
fix.
thought it
I'm
was.
sure if
Right.
anybody that has like a Fortnite fix, you can do it now without
Oh
picking up
right,
the phone.
like my wife has done nothing but play Fortnite and Paladins all day today with the Switch. Like, I'm like, well, can I have the Switch back? She's like, nope, can't have it back. But normally she would be playing it on Xbox, but now that she has it on the Switch on the go, it's like almost perfect. So that's going to be a lot of people's addiction on that one, being able to play that game on the go.
Yeah, it's funny because I think I told Andy about it. I probably didn't. But like as soon as it was announced, a friend of mine, the Dropout guy, you know him, the Dropout guy was like, "Oh man, Fortnite on the Switch, I gotta get me one." So it's like, yeah, I mean, I see why it's on the Switch now.
yeah,
At first I was like, I don't get it. I'll never get it. But okay. But I see now.
I mean, it's
the
that
appeal
big
is
of a
there.
game that yeah, that appeal is there. It's that big of a game right now, and then for them to just slap that on the Switch, like, yeah, people are going to be excited to play that on the Switch, and people are going to be excited to play that on the go. I know there's a lot of younger kids whose parents only got them the Switch and they don't have any other console. Now that it's on the Switch, that it's good on Epic Games. I think they saw the amount of money that I think they saw the amount of install base on there, and I think they saw, okay, we have to, by any means necessary, get them on the Switch, whether that's drop resolution, whatever we got to do, we got to get it on there, and that's what they did. And there's a lot, like, I know there's tons. Anytime I do a live stream and I mention Fortnite, everybody in my live stream, because they're all a bunch of Splatoon players, like, they will immediately say, yes, I want it on the Switch. I can't wait. I don't have another console, so when this comes, I'm absolutely in. So I know that it's going to be a huge success just based on that alone.
Yeah, I'm hoping my Splatoon players don't like expect me to start doing Fortnite over Splatoon, because that's not going to happen.
Nope.
I'm not a Fortnite. I'll play Fortnite with you guys, but I'm not a Fortnite fan. Like,
I'll
play with you if you ask, but I'm not gonna just no.
Right.
I gave Splatoon its own day, Mario Kart its own day, Warframe its own day. I'm good on the Fortnite.
I'm already all in on Paladins on the Switch over Splatoon.
Fortnite Friday.
I mean, over Fortnite. Sorry, I'm already all in on Paladins over Fortnite already, and that's because I was never. I mean, I was a fan of Fortnite.
I liked Fortnite when it first came out. Yeah.
Yes.
Because I bought it day one when it came out.
Battle Royale gets really sweaty. I have a hard time adjusting to the mechanics over PUBG. Like I'll play PUBG over Fortnite any day.
Yeah. Yeah. I was upset when I bought PUBG because that was like right when Fortnite started doing its Battle Royale, and then people stopped playing PUBG, and I'm like, well, now I have no one to play with.
I know, that's a different story with PUBG. Bluehole needs to step their game up with that, but that's a different story.
Yeah. So I guess let's move on to really quick though, the IP that I told you guys about, was that yesterday or the day before?
You told me in that podcast that we did Sunday, you were kind of hinting at it. I said, well, what do you see? And you're like, there's a new IP coming, and I was like, okay. And then you kind of hinted at Mario. And I said, what about Mario Party? And you said maybe, more than likely yes. You didn't actually like give me a solid answer, but you kind of hinted at it. But you kind of hinted at it.
Because you say, is it this year or next year? I'm like, I don't know, because I actually don't know.
Either way, they announced that. But that new IP did look interesting. But here's another thing: I'm not a big fan of mech games. So if this one can pull me into it, that'll be a good thing.
Think of Devil May Cry, but you can fly.
I mean, if it's like that, let's go.
That's basically what it is. Let's Devil May Cry, but you can fly.
Let's go.
Yeah, Devil May Cry, but you can fly, and you have some guns. Like basically Zone of the Enders, because that's what Zone of the Enders was back in the day. If anyone played that on PS2, that's pretty much what it was.
Bluehole too busy trying to sue Epic. True.
Because that lawsuit, basically, that lawsuit is to get the game to not become an esport in Korea, because then the game will blow up if that happens. It already blew up. If it becomes an esport in Korea, that's the end of PUBG, as we know it. So,
hey, Bluehole better step their game up. That's all I got to say about that. Step it up.
So let's move on to.
Step it up.
Come on, step it up. Fucking Sonic. Alright, so let's move on to Smash. I don't have a whole lot I want to say about it, but at the same time I do. It's kind of weird. I want to start off with Will and hear all of his thoughts, because I don't want to say anything that he might want to say.
Jesus Christ. Okay, so like, first of all, like the whole, like it is a whole new HUD, like it's a whole setup, and like everyone has like new art, and they brought everyone back. And they added Ridley in this badass cinematic trailer thing. And like he twirls Mario's hat, which is like the most disrespectful thing ever, which is like badass. And I kind of want to play as him now. But they dropped a lot on us. Like it was like the Pokemon thing. Like they gave us a lot to digest. And I'm like, we're going to spend weeks digesting it.
They gave us a lot to digest because they kind of left us with a cliffhanger in March and didn't exactly explain anything.
There were like 62 characters now.
So I think it was like 64, 65 characters now.
Yeah,
like,
there's a handful. The times when I cheered was when I saw Toon Link, when I saw Young Link. I mean, when I saw Young Link, when I saw Daisy. Even if she's a copy, I love playing as Peach, and Daisy's a cooler character than Peach. So now I can just use Peach rather than using Daisy in the Peach skin, because that's what I had been doing. So now I can use Daisy. Now I can use Pichu again, because that's who I played with a lot. Now I can use Young Link again. I love the way the new Link looks and the way he plays with the timed bomb. I don't know. It just looks so clean. Everything they did would just look.
The game looks 100% clean,
Yeah.
way better. Me and Ed Norton had an argument because he was like, "This is nothing but a remake." I'm like, "No, it's not a remake. This is a brand new game. They put all the characters in." But
well, in all reality, it is a enhanced port.
Enhanced.
It's an enhanced port because the thing is this is what I touched base on before, because a lot of people don't know anything about the gaming industry. They just speculate and they talk and they don't know anything about it. They've never seen how the process goes and everything. This is Nintendo finally catching up with the rest of the world. Them taking their assets, taking those assets, taking the same engine and building off of it. Like, that's how you get annual games. You get these people that shit talk a game because it's like, oh yeah, it just looks like the last one, or they say like those, but they're okay with Call of Duty and Battlefield. This is what that is. This is them taking that engine and reusing it, like other companies always do. They reuse their engine so that the production on games take, so the production of the game doesn't take forever. So this is them not making it a whole new engine, using the engine that they had for Smash Wii U, which worked. Taking that engine, reusing some assets, and being able to tweak it, redo the graphics, add more to it, redo the gameplay, and make a whole new game with less time in development. So, in a sense, yes, it's a brand new game, but it is an enhanced port. So people saying that it's not different in any form are wrong. It is an enhanced port. The graphics are clearly better. The game is clearly tighter. Everything's clearly better. And that's the point of reusing those assets. That is the point of reusing the same engine. And I'm excited about that. 100% excited about that. Because we didn't have to wait 4 or 5 years for them to put out a Smash game just for us to not like the characters tripping again. Or something like weird about the mechanics that we didn't like about Wii U, or about the Wii one. Or something we didn't like about Smash Melee. Even though everyone loved it, the game was fundamentally broken. And that's why people loved it.
I will say this. Did we really need to have Wii Fit Trainer and me Shooter and me, like, do we need to have? I feel like those were filler characters, but I mean, I realized why they brought them all back. They said we want to bring like all the characters we've ever had. Yeah, but you could have left them
so people don't get upset, because there are those people like me. If they took Wii Fit Trainer out, I wouldn't have been happy because I play with her a lot. I love Wii Fit Trainer. Now the Mii's could go, but but I like Wii Fit Trainer. She's basically like low key female Captain Falcon. Like, her attacks are very, very similar in a lot of ways.
Falco Punch.
But with it being an enhanced port, that makes me happy, because the Wii U one was solid, and to create a whole new engine for that again, not only would have taken a long time,
it would have been a headache, and
but it would,
people would have been like you said, people probably would have been more than happy with all the bugs that may have came out of it, or the changes that would have came out of it. I think. And that was my thing. I just wanted them to improve on it, and they did, and that was my argument. But people like to just kind of stay on it. I mean, I think the problem is, like you said, with Nintendo catching up with the rest of the world, people got kind of spoiled on the fact that they get a new experience every time. So when they see this, they're like, that's not a new experience. It's just an enhancement. I don't like it. But I don't think there was much they needed to fix about Smash Brothers, though.
At all. And so, like, just not necessarily porting it, but using the same engine and assets,
they didn't
definitely builds on that.
They just needed to improve on it, and that's what they did.
And they basically just improved on it, added better graphics, more level. Well, I guess now, less levels from what I saw.
I didn't think they meant they needed to spend 30 minutes on that in most of your direct, but that's a different story. But
they kind of had to, because there was a lot of changes.
Yeah, but they should have might as well just called this Smash Bros. Direct or had its own separate, because that was ridiculous.
I think they should have, like, because it's a little while till December, so I think they might have more to announce, but I think they could have.
I wonder. Here's my thing though, because he almost Sakurai almost made it a point to say that you're getting every character ever made. Don't get too excited about new characters in the future. But then he said, "Oh, but here's Ridley," and they did show Ridley. So I'm kind of confused on that. Will there be a lot more characters in the future, or will this be the roster, and will they kind of tone back on the DLC?
Be 3.
Right, but will they tone back on that a little bit? You know what I'm saying? Like, will they sort of just lay back and instead of it being as often as it was with the Wii, will it be few and far between?
Well, that'll be their E3 next year. They're going to be like, we have, hopefully levels is what I want, but we have 3 characters, and they will release every now and then throughout the rest of the year, and that's going to be the end of adding characters to Smash.
Right. Now, was it you? Who was it that was talking? Was it me, or was it my buddy? It was either you or my buddy Abaddon saying that somebody said that there will be quote unquote Microsoft.
That wasn't me.
presence in the game. I don't know if somebody read that somewhere. I don't know if that's true or not.
Yeah, that wasn't even close to me. No,
Okay.
I gave him my idea of what it could be like to have a Minecraft level, but
Right. Do
no.
you think that's still possible in the future or no? Like,
They're not
would it
tight enough.
If
Like,
it would it be just like Banjo or somebody like that?
I don't want Microsoft stuff in there at all because Nintendo, I'm sure, is still angry with Microsoft for trying to steal Donkey Kong from them.
100%.
As if that would work. So it's just like Activision. You don't see Activision and Nintendo even talk because of the one-time Activision.
But I will say this:
Nintendo
that was old. That was old leadership, and it seems like they're trying. Like the new leadership at Xbox is trying to mend that relationship.
That's true.
But you are correct. They might still be mad about that.
Yeah, they might be mad. You know, Japanese people are good at holding grudges. That's what anime is. That's so wrong. It's 100%. True though. They're good at holding grudges.
First anime was yep.
So, I mean, ever since that day, they said, here is Samus and Link in Ultimate Alliance on a PS2. And Nintendo was like, I'm out. They literally got up and just walked out. They're like, we don't want to give you our characters since you showed it to us on a PS2 and not on Nintendo hardware.
I made a whole video about that, actually.
Yeah, and Will did, and you guys should check that out. But yeah, Samus and Link were supposed to be in Marvel Ultimate Alliance, and they showed it to Nintendo on a PS2. And after that, the relationship has never been good. So
we'll get on them. I mean, good.
The closest they got to their relationship being good was Bowser and Donkey Kong being in Skylanders. And the only reason why that happened is because Skylanders was doing so well on the Wii and the Wii U that Nintendo okayed that at least. But Nintendo's requirements was that they made the figure for the game and that the other team didn't, to make sure that it was coded only for their system, because they still didn't trust Activision. So that's as close as they got. So, because Activision's all about money.
Right.
But either way, I don't know. So the things with Smash I'm excited about. I want more levels. Although I almost cried when I saw Cerulean City. They didn't choose it, but when they were showing off legit gameplay at the treehouse, at the bottom you could see Cerulean City as a selectable level, and that was my favorite level in Smash 64, and I'm happy it's back. And same thing with the Majora's Mask level. I'm happy that's back too.
No, I like how they have, because both the versions of Bayonetta have slightly different sound effects for them shooting the gun.
Bro, when they talked about slightly different sound effects, I literally laughed.
And that's like, you can just tell Sakurai is a huge fan of the games that he puts in these games, because he was talking about how Ryu always faces his opponents, and that's just a big mechanic in Street Fighter 2 anyways, or just Street Fighter in general. So you can just tell that he's a big fan of video games.
Now, what'd you guys feel about? It's funny when they showed off the clone characters, there weren't that many, and I remember there being multiple clones, and they didn't put Nintendo tried to be freaking low key shady on that one.
Right.
Well, no, they didn't. What's his name? Ganondorf isn't the same as Captain Falcon anymore. So, because they gave him different smash attacks, he has his sword and everything now.
Yep.
So he's officially his own character because they based him off the Ocarina of Time. But
I don't remember that.
Well, yeah. Look at.
You don't remember when Ganondorf was a clone in Melee of Captain Falcon?
And Wii U. He was a clone on there too.
He was a clone everywhere.
Yeah, it's just this new one. If you look at the gameplay that they had during the Treehouse and they chose Captain Falcon, his forward smash, except for being the Falcon Punch. No, he still had that. His he had sword attacks now. His jumping thing was different, and something else was different. But I feel like he still had the Falcon Punch. I feel like that was still a thing. But overall, I don't know. I'm pleased with this Smash game overall, which I didn't think I was not going to be because it's Smash. There's nothing to really not be pleased about, to be really honest.
True.
Other than if Sonic was gone, then I guess I would have been really upset. But that's about it.
Can't wait to beat all my friends that think they're better at Smash, even though they've never touched a Nintendo system. This is December. Yep, I got about 4 or 5 of those in a minute.
Frank the Tank, did you just donate $2 for Waluigi?
I agree with you. No, Waluigi is real.
Waluigi really should have been in the game. To be very honest, because it's unfair how they do Waluigi. How the fact that he's literally only either a assist trophy or he is just in sports games and driving games. That's it.
Yep.
Like, I remember when, I don't know if you were subscribed to the channel yet, Frank, but I did a stream of Super Smash Brothers Wii U, and I had the game modded. So I had used Waluigi with some of, what's his name's attacks. Waluigi with Captain Falcon attacks, and I found that to be very, very fun. Because Waluigi fits so well, I would love to play as him with Captain Falcon's attacks. But either way, I have not much else to say about Smash. Is there anything in general about everything that we talked about today, starting with Will? Was there anything at all that you wanted to talk about or bring up before we get to the Q&A?
Nah.
Nothing at all? You sure?
No.
Just dwell on that question while Nick does whatever he does, just in case. Because there's always something that's missed. Because I missed, although I don't want to talk about it anymore, but I missed the Xbox game that Ghost of Tsushima looks way better than, but the game still looks really fun. That Samurai Ninja game, whatever one it wants to be, because it kind of lost its identity.
I guess Kingdom Hearts, like I think Square Enix's E3 was showing it during every person, or every person's whose system it's on. Like show it on there, show it on there, show it on there, to add this whole like ball. It's almost like they're using Microsoft and Sony to their own ends.
Yep.
So it's like we're creating the ultimate E3. Like Kingdom Hearts it will probably be game of the show. Actually, that's perfect. Like I think Square Enix probably did have the best E3 in hindsight.
Yeah,
I mean, just because they plastered Kingdom Hearts everywhere.
But I mean, hey, people have been waiting for Kingdom Hearts longer than anything else. Boy, when Kingdom Hearts 2 came out, I was in middle school.
I was in high school.
Yeah, you're old. I was in
high school.
I was in middle school.
I was a junior.
Boy, what year was that when that came out? That was
2005, 2006.
Yeah, so I was literally just getting out of 5th grade when that came out. I was in 6th grade when that came out. So, come on, like people have been waiting for so long. I understand Square Enix plastering it everywhere to remind every gamer possible that this game is coming. So, yeah, Will definitely made a point on that. Oh, that's a good point. Pulse brings up really quick. The story mode for Smash.
Yes.
I want them to have the story mode that Wii U had, an adventure mode like Melee had, and the Smash run that the 3DS had. I want all three in the game, along with break the targets and the baseball thing. I want it all. Give me everything. You call this Ultimate? Give me every gameplay mode Smash ever had.
Right. They could have they could have went all out with that. But I think they know that this is enough.
It's
like
enough.
it's. I think they know to the fans, like in the fact that this is becoming more of a competitive game on the Evo. Like what they did was enough to kind of. They can always add that stuff later if they really wanted to, but I think they feel like this was enough of what they did just to kind of push the game forward.
Sakurai doesn't even like that it's in the competitive scene. Did you know that?
I did know that, but that was, the only reason why it's in the competitive scene is because
it's a competitive game, regardless.
Right, it became a competitive game, and Evo saw dollar signs whenever it was mentioned. Because I remember there for a while, right? They didn't really want it at Evo, right? Like it was like it's not going to be a thing, but there was enough push for it that they kind of had to, and they couldn't ignore the money that it would make and the income that they could get from it. So I mean, that's the reason why it went there. I personally don't like the fact that it is a competitive game, and it can be competitive. It's just not a traditional fighter in a sense. So that's the reason why I don't like it too much being at Evo. But I enjoy being at Evo at the same time, if that makes sense. Yeah. But what isn't talked about right now is the fact that we still don't have any idea about Final Fantasy VII Remake.
No, you won't hear about that until the next 5 years, so you're good.
I mean, that is the fact that even they announced that like at the beginning of the PS4 and Xbox One era, like we still don't have it. Like that irks me, and I don't know if it brings concern or if they're just dragging their feet, or maybe they really just don't want to make the game. Maybe it was just a mistake. I don't know, but either way, that's still just funny to me that we have no general idea when that is, but we can get a Secret of Mana remake
You know, as far as I'm concerned, it doesn't exist anymore. It's easier to think about it like that.
Right. We thought that Kingdom Hearts was never going to happen.
Right.
We thought Final Fantasy 15 was never going to happen.
Right. So there is
Exactly.
fingers crossed that it could happen, but man, nope.
Yeah.
Rip.
Yeah.
So I guess before Game of the Year. Kingdom Hearts will be your Game of the Year. It probably is. Like, my Game of the Year is probably Pokemon right now, but I'm not going to know yet, to be honest. Oh, wait, that won't be your Game of the Year because Kingdom Hearts is next year. That'll be your Game of the Year next year. Octopath Traveler is your Game of the Year.
Yep.
Oh,
So,
me? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Octopath Traveler, yeah.
I have no idea what my Game of the Year will be because
I already know mine is Pokemon.
there's just too many.
Too
many.
Yeah, there are a lot of games coming out this year.
So I guess before we get to this Q&A, I just want to add one more thing, is to touch base on what you guys were saying about Waluigi and Smash. Let's just all be very optimistic and assume that the Master Hand is literally just the hands of Waluigi, and you'll be fine. Waluigi is not a part of Smash because he's the Master Hand. And, you know, you can't be the end-all, be-all character, so, you know, you gotta settle with just fighting his hands, because, you know, you get them hands, but you can't get them bows. So that's all you gotta think about it. But yeah, this is the last section of the entire thing, guys. This is the Q&A. Do any of you guys have any questions for us at all? Is there anything you want to touch base on at all, mention, have any questions for us, any of us three? I guess one thing I can point out for any of my subscribers, anyone that's been here for a long time, definitely go subscribe to Will, go subscribe to Nick. They are both awesome people. You're going to see them both in multiple Pulse chats. You're going to see Will a lot more because Will is literally always here, whether you have or have not noticed. He's literally here for almost everything I do. He is my best friend. I love this guy to death. You guys are going to see him a lot. You might as well go subscribe to him because you're going to hear his voice whether you want to or not. That's just how it works. So definitely take a look at both of their channels. Will put his name in there. Just click on the 3 little dots next to their name. Click go to channel and subscribe to them. Highly recommended. But either way, is there anything you guys want to touch base on? Let's read through this chat. Let's see. You want small bonus stages for Smash 64. We all break the targets, but does the bonus stage with the rooms and the doors get as far as possible? Yeah, I remember that, Pulse. You guys remember that on the old Smash where you had to, like, it was timed and you had to try and get out of the level, like with Samus? You had to climb to the top, and boy, I forgot about those. Man. Let's see, there was the Final Fantasy VI remake and win. Which one was 6 again?
Final Fantasy 3.
Because I'm thinking of 8. Final Fantasy 3 already had a remake on the 3DS.
No. Final Fantasy 3 on the Super Nintendo was technically Final Fantasy 6.
That was redone on the 3DS, wasn't it?
No, the actual Final Fantasy 3 in Japan was redone on the 3DS. Final Fantasy 3, the one on Nintendo, which was Final Fantasy 6,
has not been redone.
Has not been redone yet.
Okay.
I don't know why they call it Final Fantasy 3 in the United States and didn't call it 6, but regardless, yeah, that's the one.
Lieutenant Surge thinks Kingdom Hearts
is just as convoluted as the plots.
Lieutenant Surge thinks Kingdom Hearts will be Game of the Year 2019. I believe it. But since it's coming out so early in the year, it has a lot of competitors. Like, since it's not coming out like later.
Like Jump Fist, whatever it's called.
Oh, I mean, well, no, isn't Kingdom Hearts coming out in February?
Yeah, that's early.
It's gonna have a bit more competitive.
Well,
Kingdom Hearts, there's a lot of games coming out at the same time. I mean, I recall there's a lot of February games, a lot of them.
Let's see, gotta watch what we say about Waluigi, otherwise you're gonna get those hands. Man, I get owned by Master Hand when you put the difficulty like maybe 7 or 8 and up.
Like insane, yeah.
Yeah, like
the pot is like boiling. Dear God.
Yeah, I
I can
can't.
tell you right now, my Smash skills are bad now. I can guarantee you that. I haven't played Smash in a minute, but my Smash skills are probably terrible. And anybody who wants to give me them hands, I will take them. I will get my.
See, my Smash skills are still pretty decent for someone that barely plays it anymore. But I cannot get to the Smash, to the Master Hands, the Master Dungeon, or whatever they call it in that game. Like, I can't. Let's see. Please show my 1, 2, 3 Slaughter Me Street fan art. Where did you post it? Is it in the Discord?
No. I think they tagged me on Twitter. I said Twitter.
On Twitter. Let's see, if he put it in here, then I can show it. If not, then I'm not able
I can
to.
put it in here. Give me a second. Oh, I got notifications out the wazoo here. Let's see here.
Oh, I guess I should follow you on Twitter.
Yeah, I need to follow you on Twitter as well.
I can't add it. What the heck?
Oh, and speaking of Twitter, guys, definitely follow all three of us on Twitter. That would be a easy, and join the Discords as well. That's an easy way to keep up with when we're gonna do stuff together, when I'm gonna do something. Nick as well. Everyone here, Frank, definitely join Nick's Discord.
The Discord.
I definitely recommend that. And Amino. I do have an Amino as well for anyone that cares about Amino. I always hated getting destroyed by God mode trophy characters. I'm really happy I'll be able to fight those. Yeah. So I guess this is, what big game do you think is coming out this year and hasn't been announced? That would be something with Sony, because Nintendo, if they had anything else come out, it would be in December, and we wouldn't know any of that until November. I mean, we wouldn't know any of that until September or October, and it wouldn't even be a big game. So it would be something by Sony, and if they announce it PSX, if something does come out, I don't think they would choose any of their bigger titles, to be honest. But if I had to speculate, I think they would want to go with their holiday, end their holiday off with Ghost of Tsushima. I feel like they want to end their holiday with Ghost of Tsushima, but I mean, I could really be wrong. I don't know about that one, to be really honest. Yeah, I don't know. But Lacey the favorite. But I guess we are going to start to wind down and end this Pulse Chat. Keep in mind, the Pulse Chat is always on Fridays. This was kind of a special one because of E3. We should have one this Friday. I have no idea what we're going to talk about. It might just be like a more personal Pulse Chat. And as far as...
Yeah, there's going to be not a lot of gaming news moving forward. We're going to kind of settle down here. And
pretty much, our Pulse Chats are just going to be more laid back.
What you been playing? Oh, this game is tight. Octopath Traveler's dope.
Let me tell you something, boy.
So I guess since this Pulse Chat was kind of in the middle of the week, that's not a traditional one for Friday. We're only going to do one. And I will state that Lapras Gamer, you are the winner of a gift card for either Xbox, PlayStation, PC, or Nintendo Switch. We will typically do on traditional Pulse Chat days, we will have 2 and or 3 gift card giveaways. For this one, since it's so on a kind of like a weird day, we're only going to do 1. So definitely look forward to that. But either way, I randomly pick. Typically, I randomly pick if I don't do a questionnaire for someone to like get it through answering the question. But either way, thank you guys for joining. Lapras, I will hit you up in his Discord about that if you're interested in receiving it. If you're not, that's perfectly fine because you can go to someone on Friday.
I don't think Lapras is in the Discord.
He might not be. I don't know. I just kind of chose a random person out of the comments. But either way, guys, definitely have a good night. Thank you for joining, and we will talk to you later. Oh, yeah, and by the way, keep in mind, I will be streaming Kirby All-Star Allies in about an hour from now for anybody that's interested in seeing it. What about the art? I didn't get to see the art still.
The art's in the Discord. I posted it.
You posted it? I'll post that art before I end this. Hold on. But yeah, I'm going to be streaming Kirby All-Star Allies for anybody that's interested in hanging out and seeing that game. And you posted it in the Discord. Where'd you post it? Oh, the general?
Yeah, in the general.
Oh, that's actually pretty cool. Alright, this is his art here. If you definitely submit that in... I'll actually throw it in my Discord and put it on the thingy. On my loading screen, I normally have people's art going through, which is pretty cool there. But yeah, we're ending it off with this beautiful artwork by Lapras. But either way, guys, I am going to be ending this stream here. And I will catch you a little bit at Kirby, if anybody's there.
Peace.
Peace.
Pulse Chat.